Hey guys, bonjour, hello, welcome back to our channel and warm welcome to those solo videos of mine in which I'm inviting you to reflect with me, to reflect together on the various things related with one main subject: awakening, liberation, freedom, enlightenment, you could say also. Non-duality, oneness, yeah, reality also, a beautiful word which describes basically what's happening. And in today's video, I'm willing to explore with you the so-called shift in perception. There was a desire here to record this video for a long time, but somehow there was no space for that. I'm not sure, space or energy or, yeah. What is shift in perception? How to recognize it? And basically how this change one's life. So first, a disclaimer, I would like to say that I'm gonna share my experience only and my observation in relation to what I've heard from many friends with which I'm speaking. So this is only my experience and my observation. So a shift is something really, really radical, because it is shifting everything in an instant. For a shift to happen, you don't have to meditate. You don't have to do any certain special practices, although shift may happen while you're meditating or doing some kind of practices. A shift swept away a main belief, a belief that I am here and this out there is the world from which I am separate. So the shift sweeps away that belief, that feeling. A shift may feel really energetical. It's like a hit, energetical hit. It's like something, if I can describe it with a movement, it could be like something like that. And usually it is accompanied by different feelings and sensations in the body. A laughter is very common, but not necessary, but laughter may come. A lightness in the being, like in the whole being, there is a lightness. What else? A vividness, aliveness of the surrounding things, so-called. Somehow everything becomes brighter, closer, kind of intimate. A shift in perception changes the view that you have, or one has in relation to my place in this world. a shift in perception could be really traumatic. And I'm not saying that to scare anyone, because when shift in perception happens, depending, of course, upon the conditioning, but it's not possible to go on and live your life the way you live this life prior to shift. It changes everything, and nothing simultaneously, but many, like a lot of things are changing. How to recognize a shift when it happens, and you experience that, you will know, and there will be no doubt. Sometimes, though, a shift could be a really subtle sensory experience, and because it is subtle, it is overlooked and dismissed. I'm hearing a lot of stories of various types of experiences and insights and spiritual experiences. And friends are describing that when this happened, and there was this lightness and this happiness for no reason, and this joy of life, and suddenly it came suddenly, and there was this experience for days or weeks or even months, and then it vanished. And a memory of an energetic shift can vanish. This can like, the memory is not possible to stay strong or powerful, but something which is like something which was very, very new to the system and energetical cannot be forgotten in a way. So a memory of different experiences, they can vanish, but an experiential shift, a shift in perception, cannot be forgotten. You can't forget that. It's like you forget that there is, like you saw that there is no sun, and suddenly you forget, and you start behaving that it's as if there is Santa. It's like that. You cannot forget. It's unforgettable. Then life goes on, like always. Like used to be prior to shift, because life has always been like that. But now the perception is different, and you are not perceiving that world outside of you, outside of the experience. You are not waiting that world to give you something, because you are not separate from it. You can give to yourself. You can give everything to yourself, because you and the world are not two. So laughter, lightness. Laughter is not necessary, but it's very, very common. Laughter, joy, lightness, like transparency, maybe. Sensitivity to certain energies or different, different experiences. You became very, very sensitive to those. Also, Also a drive, that drive for achieving or usually weakens, if not just disappearing at all. So drive for motivation goes away also. It's just there is no motivation for things you don't like. There is no motivation to go and do your job at all. And I've read somewhere someone was suggesting that if you start inquiring into the notion of what you think you are, to have this period of time in which you probably won't need to go for a work, let's say, to earn money or to, yeah, like your basic needs to be covered, because you don't know how the shift um will happen for you, because the drive for motivation completely drops. There is no problem if you are not doing anything. It's very weird from the surrounding people around you, but if it's just, if it is your experience, you will know. So a drive goes away. What else? Yeah. There is an intimacy with everything. Sometimes it's a little bit too much. It's like overwhelming. You find yourself crying a lot and laughing a lot, but crying as well. If prior shift there was a desire to share or to go out there in the world and spreading the message, so to speak, when it hits you, mostly like in the beginning, you won't open your mouth. Of course, depending on conditioning, but you don't know. You don't want to share. At least that was my experience. Like 2-3 years, probably. I couldn't put that in words. Nor that now I can put it. I'm not saying that there is such a possibility to talk about that, but yeah, I'm sharing my experience. Also, you stop measuring what is good, what is bad. Of course, you can say something. If you see injustice on the street, there will be a reaction. A shift is not the end of reactions. It's rather reactions come naturally. If there is a anger, if there is a sadness, if there is whatever, it is natural. It's arising without being monitored. You cannot, there is nothing to suppress that. It's just. Yeah, it's totally energetical experience. It's not mental. It's not connected with the mind, although the mind gets quieter. When the main belief drops and you felt that with your whole being, then the other beliefs start falling, like the belief in time, the belief in continuity, the belief in past and future, and even the belief in the present moment, the belief in now. and somehow I have to be in the now. It's clearly seen that there is nowhere else to be but now, in this very moment. There is nothing else but this very moment. And usually this ends some fears or anxiety for the future, because future is seen for what it is, non-existent, outside of thought. But plans still happen. Yeah. If there is a doubt, if you are doubting your experience, look further, look more. When a shift happens, doubt is also swept away. And in my experience, and again from observation from the friends with which I'm speaking, shift is a sudden experience, instantaneous, immediate. It's like probably last a second or a two. I don't know really. A shift cannot be gradual, in my experience. Of course, you can share what's your experience, but if we are talking about something gradual, like a process, it is not the shift for which I'm speaking now, and I'm expressing my experience related to that. A shift is a sudden event, uncaused, unexpected, and it's clearly seen that you didn't do anything about that. I didn't do anything for that to happen. It just came like a grace. And of course, after the initial shift in perception, there can be a multiply small shifts or realizations or insights or a deepening. And it's not the end, for there is no end. An end is also a mind construct. An end of what, precisely? When was the beginning of this, that somehow we should expect an end? An end of what? It's a constant unfolding, unwinding. But yeah, usually when the make believe is no more there, it's like there is a, like, like the image of pyramid or a tower from a cards, cards, playing cards, a colored, I don't know what's the name of that. And if you remove the card which is under, like underneath the whole, all of this construct, and the whole construct starts shaking and shaking, and at a certain moment it collapses. So yeah, this is the collapse of identity. An identity is seen as non-existent, as a construct, useful construct, but still construct, with no ground whatsoever in reality. There is only reality and thoughts about an identities, different identities in this reality. So when this shift occurs, this is seen as non-existent. An identity here was invented. There was no identity. It's just a mental fabrication. And this is the same for everyone. Like my mom, there is no mom. There is no identity, even though she feels like an identity. Yeah. Usually, or of course is not necessary, but usually there is a sense of compassion arising. If not prior, then maybe after that, a compassion. And a natural, organic longing to help, to support, to express, to come together. Maybe I'm not describing everything in, I don't know, in what? In steps or in linear? I don't know. Everything comes like randomly here. So, yeah. So, if it comes, you will know. And all the attempts of the mind to figure it out, what is that, how it will happen, what to do, these are futile. When it came, you will know. When it comes, you will know without knowing. There is just a sense and no doubt about that. It's just like that. You see, like clearly, it's like that. There is no Santa. There never was a Santa. Never was an identity here. And if you are wondering what's next, everything. Life goes on the way it went prior to shift. Why to stop unfolding just because it's seen? Illusion still goes on. You are seeing illusions everywhere, but you know these are not true. You know. Yeah, and there is this again natural impulse to help when you see someone confused, suffering. In emotional turmoil. There is this natural impulse to support. Yeah, in a way, everything start flowing really slow. It's very slow, very simple also, very simplicity. Mm. And in the end, it's different and unique for each one of us. Yet there are common things. Oh, and also there is this sense of gratitude, not knowing towards what, who, or what, but there is this gratitude, like a lot of gratitude towards the world. towards everything. A shift in perception doesn't put an end to conditioning, to emotional wounds, to trauma, to what needs to patterns, and what needs to be seen and released. The shift doesn't put an end to those. These are continuing arising. And this is what it is called embodiment or unfolding. To look curiously at those things. The drive for, like I mentioned, the drive for like the motivation drive drops, and also the seeking drops. You stop seeking whatever you were seeking prior. But there is curiosity. It is replaced with curiosity. There is no like a seeking energy very strong. There is curiosity. A belief in authorities also drops. Authorities are seen for what they are. Your direct experience becomes your highest authority. And it is very clear and obvious and transparent when you start interacting. It's like you start seeing many things. Oh, at least here the experience is like that. I'm not reading thoughts, I just feel a certain type of energy, different type of energy. But we are all like that. It's not that I am special or someone else is more special. When the belief that I'm separate from the world drops, you start seeing you as the world, as everything. And if you feel like this here is nothing and you're nothing and it's empty and it's yeah, black or whatever, don't stop there. Curiously explore, because sometimes shift comes and there is this negative or nihilistic experience. But from what I notice, when the shift occurs and there is almost immediately or very soon after the shift, this nihilistic feeling of the world that it's pointless, it's useless, whatever. It's like the sneaky identity kicks in, start doing its dream, its nest, like don't stop there. This here is not empty, it is full, it is aliveness. It is full on aliveness. It is everything and nothing simultaneously, but everything. Yeah, guys, share your experience. You can write a comment here. You can email me. You can join our members area and be part of the meetings in Thursday meetings. If you're resonating, you can subscribe to our channel. And you can find a lot, not a lot, but different ways to be with us, both online or in person. Much love. and see you soon.